This is the next painting I am working on, and it's obviously a grizzly bear. A wonderful photo that was taken by Julia Cook of littlelightningnature.com if you want to find her online. But she photographs mostly in Yellowstone and the Tetons and has graciously allowed me to paint from her photos. So this is the first photo that I wanted to do of hers. And this is obviously black and white. I turned the color photo into black and white so that I could more easily see the value changes through the photo from white to black. Then what I do is I take a piece of tracing paper and I go over the whole entire photograph and select which shapes I'm going to include in the painting and which ones I'm going to leave out. And for example, here you can see there is a lot of detail in this bear's fur, and I don't want to do that much detail. I think it's sometimes you just have to know when to sort of generalize an area and when you do want additional detail. I should say the thing that attracted me to this photo as a possible painting initially was this wonderful background, the kind of pine boughs that you can see that are all around the background of this bear, and they create a kind of abstracted background, and then the bear is looking straight at us and is kind of isolated within that. It's not just a bullseye composition. There's enough out here around the bear that's going to be interesting for the viewer to kind of wander around and say, oh, that looks really cool, whatever. But anyway, this is how I started it. Well, when I got it all done, I thought that I had what I wanted, and so then I always printed out on copier paper just to check the composition. And one of the things I noticed that I didn't like was this area up in here. In fact, this whole side of the bear seemed to be kind of barren of detail and wasn't holding its own against this other side of the composition. So I was concerned that maybe what I needed to do was add something in here to kind of balance things out. One of the things I do want is this kind of diagonal action that is going on. This shape here is leading into the face of the bear. This shape here is leading into the face of the bear, and obviously it's the face that I want to have as the center of interest. So I'm happy with those two diagonals, and really up here from the corner too, coming into the center of interest, but I just felt like this third of the painting, it was kind of a 2/3, 1/3 thing, and I didn't think that was as strong as I wanted it. So then I went through about 3 different variations on how I might do that upper corner differently, and I have, for the time being at least, settled on this one. I've added a little more detail. I've caught a little more of the detail of her fur coming up around this area, and then I've kind of created a curve to reduce the size of that small area up there without completely covering it with pine boughs and abstraction. Part of that detail versus not detail thing is you do need to give the viewer's eye some places to rest. So that is what I have done here and a little bit here, but I just didn't want to have too much along this right side. This is probably the composition I'm going to go with, but I'm thinking about it. So stay tuned. You may see me do another change.